Oh hey folks, welcome back. And in this episode of Masterpiece Security, we're going to talk a little bit about the actual encryption of data. Now we talked about where data is, how to find out where that data is, how to classify it. But once you know where your data is and once you know how to classify it, how do you protect it? And that's where encryption comes in. And encryption is a way to scramble data and make it unreadable to only those that have access and have the ability, the technical ability to see that information. It's a very fascinating way of ensuring that only certain people have access to view information. And encryption goes way back, hundreds and hundreds of years. In fact, most militaries would use encryption to protect orders. Sometimes I use encryption to protect my recipes for my different dishes that I cook at home. Some things just not everybody should see. So in this fabulous book, the Application Security Program Handbook, written by this gentleman named Derek Fisher, who I'm assuming is very intelligent and very handsome. In fact, I heard rumors that he was at a book signing in some city called Las Vegas. I've never been. And I heard it was very well received and a lot of people enjoyed meeting him in person. In fact, they even got a signed copy of this very book here. But in this book it says, to encrypt properly, you need a few things. You need an encryption key and a decryption key. Sometimes the same key. So one key to encrypt, one key to decrypt. A secure method to create an encryption key is another step. And then a secure location to store the key. Lastly, you want to have a way to distribute that key. So we have several different options or different phases here. We need to create a key, we need to store a key, we need to be able to distribute that key. The challenge is that a lot of systems, a lot of older systems, don't necessarily have the ability to store those keys in such a way to keep them protected. Unfortunately, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And same goes with old software. So oftentimes, these legacy applications will have encryption keys resting in files, or they may even be hard-coded in the application. That can become very dangerous. It's not secret if it's in the application. So that's definitely a challenge with some of the legacy applications that are out there. Some of the newer modern architecture today will utilize something called an HSM, or a hardware security module. And this allows for the secure storage of a key and the access and distribution of that key to the rightful individuals that should have access to it. So now that we know a little bit more about the encryption keys, what about actually encrypting that data? So once you know where the data is, organizations have a few options when dealing with structured and unstructured data. You can use full disk encryption, which many of us are familiar with. You can use file level encryption, where you actually encrypt the file itself. Or you can use column or row level encryption within a database. Each of these options are reasonable options for protecting data at rest. Making sure that you have access to those keys completes the circle. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this, because I love talking about encryption. I'm terrible at math, but I love encryption. Remember folks, when you're secure, I'm secure. Stay safe out there.